Hi, I'm Dana, and I feel like a lot of the things that I talk about on my channel when relating to autism are like the really big, serious things, and it's because I want to, quite frankly. I think that's some of the more important stuff to talk about and the stuff that I want validation about, and to know that other people are doing and other people feel and all that kind of stuff. But with today being Sunday and the Sunday videos tending to be a little bit more chill, what are you doing, Otis? Well, that killed my train of thought, but today I wanted to talk about the parts of being autistic that just make me feel a bit silly, you know? Like, they're the things that I always was very aware other people don't struggle with this. Like, these are things that other people do not find difficult, and I have been, like, laughed at for and stuff, you know? Like, so many of my autistic traits, up until finding out that I was autistic and finding out their autistic traits, I assumed it was stuff that just everybody did. And this was the stuff that I was always very like, I know that other people aren't finding this shit hard. So first, because it's one of my earliest memories, is I can't really tie shoelaces very well. And it's one of those things where I know that everyone has a point where they learn to tie shoelaces. I am aware of that. But I remember the lessons that we had in school in how to tie our shoelaces, and going home with my little piece of paper and trying really hard to follow it. And just, I don't know what fucking happens. I could not tie shoelaces at all for a very long time. I would either leave my shoes tied and like weaken the back of them to be able to slide my foot in and out, or my parents would specifically get me like Velcro and stretch shoes, because I couldn't tie them. And it's one of those things where I'm saying couldn't, because technically, now as an adult, all of my shoes are lace-ups. I only wear boots and trainers, they all have laces. And, you know, I tie them every time I leave the house. And then I retie them again and again and again because they come undone all the fucking time. And then I get home and try to actively, like, intentionally make it come undone, and suddenly it's a massive fucking knot that I have to spend 15 minutes like picking apart then and there, or else I can't be bothered because I've just been out, so I'm overstimulated, so I just shove them back where they go because I've managed to get it off. Like, there's a knot, but that's for future Dana to deal with. So then next time I want to leave the house, I have to sit there for 15 minutes and unpick this fucking knot and then try to tie my shoes, and it takes me a longer time than everyone else to tie my fucking shoes. I thought for a long time that it was just that I was the only bitch in boots, you know, like, and for a long time that was the case. But literally, like, I've had dozens upon dozens of times when I've been at a friend's house and we're all gonna go out somewhere, and the amount of times, especially as a teenager, that I just flat out got left behind because it just took me so long to tie my fucking shoes. And as an adult, all the times that I've had like my group of friends all stood there staring at me while I'm sat on the floor trying to tie my fucking shoes because everyone else is already, they're ready to go, they're done, and they will also be wearing shoes that are fucking laces. It just takes me so much longer, and I struggle with it, and I feel so fucking like childish and immature and silly for it, because like, I'm 28 years old, I can cook, I can clean, I can do all of these like adult things that you're supposed to need to do. I can't tie my fucking shoes properly. Like I've had people compliment like the bow on my shoes, and I'm like, how the fuck is everyone else doing it? How is the rest of the world tying their fucking shoes? Because apparently it's not the same where I am. We're gonna continue going through these in order of when I realised it was an issue for me. So the next one is my fucking handwriting. I have never ever had nice handwriting, even when I am trying really, really hard. I can make it readable, like it can be legible, I can make sure it's, you know, legible. It won't look nice, it won't be pretty, it won't be nice handwriting. You will mostly be able to read the words, and the odd word that you can't read, you'll have enough context from the others to be able to fill in what it probably should be, you know? Like, I could make sure that whoever was marking my exams in school is going to be able to read my handwriting. But especially, like, I remember when I was learning to write and first, like, when you have like the gigantic lines, and my writing was super small because it felt so much more natural to not be doing like fuck off big movements with the goddamn pen, you know? Like, it just, I don't know, I could only, like, I had teachers being like, just write in a normal size, and I was like, I don't understand how to do that. You know, like, I think it was somewhat of a trend in my school that people were writing like as small as they could, so they thought I was just following that, and I was like, no, I literally, like, I don't understand how to write bigger. Like once I start moving my hand more for the letters to be bigger, they're no longer the right shape of the letters, you know? And like as I got through school, I did learn to write bigger, and I went to school during the time when we had to do the you had to use a pencil until you'd learned to do cursive properly, and then you got to move up to a pen. I was the last kid in my school to get a pen, like in my year. It started in year 5, I think, but I was the last child to get a pen. And then I think, honestly, I'm pretty sure that they did it because like they felt bad for me, and it was towards the end of the year and everyone else had gotten their pens fucking like weeks before, and my handwriting just, especially in cursive, never got nice. But even just generally, I do not have good handwriting, and even when I'm trying really fucking hard and taking it slow and focusing on it, it's still not nice. And the amount of people I've had tell me like, oh, just take your time, like it doesn't matter how incredibly slowly I write, it's not gonna look fucking nicer. And if anything, sometimes the slower I write, the more it like becomes all fucking shaky. I can't do it. Like even my fucking signature, every signature I've ever done is fucking different. Like if I ever get into like any shit with the bank, or like if I ever have anything where they need to compare my signature to my signature, I'm fucked. It's not going to be the same at all. They are not, like, I try. I like came up with my idea of what my signature was going to be when I was like maybe like 10 or something, because my mum had a really nice signature, and I know what I want it to look like. I know what it looked like the one time I practiced it. I can't make it look like that. Not even like most of the time, not even some of the time. It's different every fucking time. I don't understand how people like have one way of doing it. Okay, so next up, this one's needs a little bit more explanation, because I have lots of things, loads of fucking shit, that technically I can do because I had no fucking option to not do it. So I had to figure out some way of being able to do it, but I can't actually do it. And I feel like it'll make sense as I explain this, because I was quite young when my parents bought me a bike, and they were like, you're learning to ride a bike. So I had my little stabilisers, I had my little tassels on the handlebars, and I rode my bike around, and I loved it. It was fab. And then like maybe a year later, they got me a new growing up bike, because I'd grown, to be fair, the bike was way too small. But this one didn't have stabilisers, and every single time I got on that fucking bike, I fell off. And like my dad tried really hard to teach me like nicely, you know, like he'd hold the seat and have me go along, but obviously he's like, you need to go faster so that you like are able to keep balance. And the moment I would start going faster, I would fall off and get fucking hurt because I'm going faster. So I ended up putting my bike in the shed, and I just didn't ride a bike for like 3 or 4 years. And then we moved to Denmark, and to go to like, in order to get to school, it was like a 40-minute bike ride. I did walk it a couple of times. It was a fucking long walk. It took forever. Like I couldn't have done that every day. I needed to be able to ride a bike. I needed parents that gave enough of a shit about me to either drive me there or give me a fucking bus fare. But I didn't have that, so I had to ride my bike. So I rode my bike every single day for like 3 years that we were in Denmark. I fell off my bike very nearly every single day, and most of the time it was a wobble, you know, like I didn't tend to go particularly fast. I'd be able to put a foot down and stop myself, but there were numerous times, like one of the big times I remember, I don't know what it was about, but all the kids had been like going at me all day. They were just laughing at me. Like that's the thing in Denmark, I didn't get like directly bullied an awful lot because I couldn't understand them, but someone would say something to someone else and then everyone would be looking at me and laughing, and I would have no fucking clue what was going on. And that had happened, so I just put my shit on my bike as fast as I could and started riding off, and the other kids were following me on their bikes just howling with laughter. And I still like, I don't know why. It was the end of the school day. I don't remember like doing anything or wearing any, like I don't know why they were doing it, but they were just cackling at me. So I wanted to get away as fast as I could, so I like fucking rode, and my school bag's handle fell down and got caught on the wheel, and I went flying over the handlebars. My front wheel got completely bent. I had to walk home with my absolutely fucked up bike, and then my parents just told me off. Like they were so angry that my bike was damaged, and it's like I was bleeding, I was bruised, I was battered. My leather, like real leather boots, had a hole in them from where I'd skidded along the fucking ground, and my parents were just so concerned that I'd broken my bike and how am I getting to school tomorrow, why did you do this? Because so much stuff like that I couldn't do. Like it's one of those where like I can ride a bike for 100 meters, and after that, at some point, I'm probably going to fall off. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's a balance issue. I don't, like, my parents are always like, well, watch where you're going, you're clearly like hitting something and that throws you off balance. But like, I'm watching where I'm going. I'm fucking terrified every moment I'm on this fucking bike. It's got wheels, it's going too fast. Like, I don't know what it is, but I can't properly ride a bike. And I have so many things like that in my life where I'm like, I do this thing because I was never given any other fucking option and I had to, but I can't actually fucking do the thing. And I do feel very silly about it, you know? Like, I'll give that that's not one that I've had to focus on in several years because I live in the UK. I'm not riding a bike on these fucking streets. I'll be dead in like 2 days. But like in Denmark, we like my school, quite often when we went on school trips, we would ride to the place as a group. And I like people would see me falling off my bike all the time, constantly being behind everyone else. Like one of the worst things that ever fucking happened was I think, to be fair to her, I bumped her back wheel. I think it was probably my fault, but my friend had fallen off her fucking bike right in front of me. I rode over her leg and she didn't break her leg, like she was alright, I'm sure it fucking hurt, but like it wasn't a serious like damage to her body, but the feeling of my, like, and obviously I then also fell off my fucking bike because of the bump, but like, I think the whole thing was my fault and she got hurt because of that. And it's literally a case of like, I can't actually ride a fucking bike, you know? And I did feel seen by Ryan in Doctor Who, okay? Even though technically I can't, like I could have rode a bike far enough to impress fucking Bradley Walsh. Now this next one I didn't realise was a thing for me until I was a teenager. And that's, I can't read clocks. Like a normal hand clock that goes around the face, I don't know what fucking time it is. I haven't got a clue. If it's not a digital clock, I don't know. I can't tell you how many times people have explained it to me. I can never remember which one the big hand's pointing at. I can never remember which one the small hand's pointing at. If they're both pointing at 12, I know that it's either noon or midnight. Anything else, I don't have a fucking clue. I don't know. I can't read normal watches. I can't read normal clocks. I don't know. If someone sits with me, like if you sat down with me right this moment with a clock in front of us and you were like, the little hand's pointing to minutes, how many minutes past is the little hand pointing at? I would be able to count around and be like, 25 minutes. And if you're then like, and what hour is the big hand? See, that's the thing as well. Sometimes when the big hand's between numbers, I definitely don't fucking know what it's doing. And I'm like, well, which one's it meant to be? Like it feels like there's too many steps to reading a clock for me to be able to fucking do it. And everyone else internalises those steps and reads the clock. I have to go through those steps every single time. And like, give me 15 minutes, I might be able to read the clock. Most of the time, the pure panic of looking at it and trying to read the clock and not being able to throws me off completely. And even if I technically could have sat there and like watched it and figured it out, I'm in such like a shutdown panic from trying to read a clock, I can't read the clock. And like as a kid, I didn't need to. The bell rang, I go to my next class, you know, like it's whatever. But I remember this one time in high school, I'd started like sneakily putting my things in my bag because I wanted to fucking go home, I'd had enough. And we had like, I knew it was like 10-15 minutes until the end of school. So I'd started slowly putting things in my bag. And my teacher was like, Dana, what time is it? And I was like, oh, I know it's not quite home time yet, but I don't need to use this stuff right now. And he was like, no, Dana, look at that clock. What time is it? And I looked at the clock and I was like, I don't know, sir. And he stared at me and the whole class was silent and he was like, are you telling me that you can't read a clock? And I was like, yeah, I don't know what that says. And everyone started laughing and it was a whole big thing of Dana can't read a clock. And I still fucking can't. And I do feel a bit silly and childish and immature for it, but you know what actually does make me feel better about it? The fact that our bed in community also can't read a fucking clock. We're the same, it's fine. Oh, one that I kind of missed in the chronological order I was trying to go in. I can't throw, I can't catch, I can't hit things. Don't try and play a sport with me. I will get hurt. I will. You won't, you'll be fine. I broke my little finger on a rounders bat once. I was in the queue waiting to go and like do my go of the bat and I was trying to figure out how to hold it properly and I dropped it in a certain way and it broke my little finger. I hadn't even hit anything with it. I hadn't even tried to hit anything. It broke, like, it's insane. And similarly, I had like a good long phase where I was going to feed the birds and I'd throw like the big ones, the I don't know the fucking difference between crows and ravens, but they were big black birds, and I was like, I want to feed you, bitch. So I was throwing them nuts, and I could tell the birds were getting annoyed with me from how I was throwing things, because I will be like, I'm gonna throw to that bird that's like 20 meters away, I'm gonna get it, and I throw it, and it lands like 2 meters away from me, and all the birds are too scared to come that close because I haven't been feeding them for long enough. Like, similarly, see, that's the thing of like, I will try to throw something with absolute force and it won't go anywhere, but then someone across the room will be like, oh, chuck us that lighter, and I'll think that I'm throwing it to them so lightly and with like no force behind it, and then it'll whack them and I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. And like, I'm sure people must think I'm fucking like launching it at them because that's how it's hitting them, but I'm not intending to, and that's if it even hits them. Quite frankly, if you want me to throw something to you, we've got a much higher chance if I aim at someone that's a little white way away, you know? If I throw over here, it's kind of more likely to get to you over there. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, I look at my target, I have my thing in my hand, I throw it towards my target, it goes over there. I don't get it. I don't understand why I can't fucking throw things. Like, I'm doing everything I know you're supposed to do to fucking throw something, and it's going a completely different direction than I'm intending. I don't know why. I don't understand. I don't get it. Genuinely, like, I don't have a fucking clue. And similarly, we did like cricket and rounders and like various like ball coming at you, volleyball, fucking basketball, all that kind of thing. Dodgeball. I fucking hated dodgeball. I don't know why anyone would do, like, what the fuck was my PE teacher thinking? I was fucking hounded in dodgeball. It was horrible. But like, especially with like cricket and rounders, the teacher would constantly tell me like, watch the ball, just keep your eye on the ball, and when it's close enough, hit it. And I'd keep my eye on the ball and keep my eye on the ball, and it'd be close enough, and I'd hit it, and then the ball would hit me because I've gone way too early. Or similarly, the ball would hit me and I'd swing. Like, I've got my eye on the ball. I'm watching the ball. I'm waiting till it's in the place where I can hit it. I hit it. It's not there. It wasn't in the place. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't understand how I'm doing it so wrong. Like, I'm following your instruction. I'm doing it the way that everyone else seems to be doing it. I just can't hit the fucking ball. I can't catch the ball. I can't throw the fucking ball. I don't want a ball. I'm gay. And similarly with that, I can't dance. And I don't mean like if you put music on and it's a little house party of people that I'm comfortable with, I'll have a boogie. I don't mind. What I'm talking about is I did street dance from when I was like 8 until I was 11. And then I had a little gap where I didn't really do anything because we were in Denmark. I didn't know what the fuck were going on. And then we moved back to the UK and I did dance classes again that were like general. I went to LIPA 419 and we did 3 hours where you'd have drama, singing, and then dance. And even with like, she was a fucking good teacher, like genuinely, like I really respected my dance teacher there because she was fucking incredible. And there were times that she kept me back after class to give me extra instruction because she was like, we need to get you onto this, don't we? And even with direct one-to-one tuition from a really good dance teacher, no, like, it was humiliating doing any sort of performances. I would beg and beg and beg to not have to do them. Because it was one of those things where, like, in my head, I'm doing what everyone else is doing. I know what moves I'm supposed to be doing. I'm putting my arm up here and I'm squatting down here and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then I look at myself in the mirror and I'm not doing it. Like, you know, people, like, I think sometimes, like, the other students and their teachers and stuff would think that, like, I was unaware. And that's why they like would give me extra tuition and try and help me out and stuff. And it's like, no, I'm so aware that I'm not doing this right and that it doesn't look right and that it doesn't look good and that I'm not doing it. I'm putting full effort in here. I'm paying full attention. I know the dance moves. I know this dance. Like, if you needed me to stand there and instruct someone else on how to do it, I could get them to do it like perfectly, I think. My body just doesn't fucking do what I tell it to. My body doesn't move in the way that I expect it to. In my head, I will be doing like the biggest fucking pop lock bullshit, and in the mirror, it's like I'm barely moving. I look like I'm in pain. Maybe I just escaped from surgery. You know, like I'm clearly not doing it, and I don't understand. It's such a fucking disconnect that makes me feel just so silly and so stupid because I'm doing it, but I also know full well that I'm fucking not. You know. And especially like being in that sort of situation where like the other girls were doing like fucking ballet and tap and hip hop and like they knew how to dance and they were fucking good at it. And even shoving me at the back, like you could tell that I didn't have a fucking clue, and it was really embarrassing. And my parents had pointed out after, like, it was just, I just can't do it. I don't know why, I just really fucking can't. And people have been like, oh, you can't, you just need to do this, you just need to do, I've fucking done it, okay? Like I said, I had like extra private lessons. It doesn't happen, it just doesn't happen. And the final one I'm gonna have a little chat about, because this is getting kind of long, but I have a lot of these things. I struggle to cross the road. I get really anxious about crossing any sort of like remotely busy road, and I've had so many times that the person that I'm with has crossed the road and just, I'm still on the other side, because I genuinely, like, the car is coming. I don't know how fast the car is coming. I don't know when it's going to reach me. I don't want to get hit by a car. Like, so many times I will step and then step back and be like, oh shit, there's a car. And then stand there and wait like 8 seconds for the car to go past. And it's like, I could have walked across. Like, it's like I don't understand the speed that I walk at, how long it takes me to get across a road, how long it takes a car to come up the road. It's like all of that information just like falls out my fucking ass, and I don't know how to cross a road. And I feel so silly when I've pressed the button and I'm waiting for the green man and other people are just walking across the road and I'm just standing there waiting, and like I could probably just follow them and cross the road, but I can't because I struggle to cross the fucking road as a 28-year-old full adult. Like, it scares me. I haven't, that's a lie, I did get hit by a car once, but it was reversing in an Audi parking lot. Like, I didn't get like hit by a car, but like I've never been properly hit by a car, probably because I wait extra time, to be fair. But I feel like I genuinely don't understand how other people like know all the right timings to know that they can cross the road without the giant metal vehicle that's barreling towards them hitting them. And like I say, like, I know it's not a big deal, but it just makes me feel so silly. Like, that's the thing, is like, I almost feel better with the things that I like genuinely like are a struggle and are a big thing, because I'm like, well, it's a big thing and it's okay for me to like take my time with this and to try my best, and like I'll accommodate to it in this way and it'll be fine. And then with the little like niggly things, I don't know how to fix this shit. I've tried to learn how to read a fucking clock and I can't. Like, I don't know what I'm meant to do with it, and it just makes me feel so immature and childish and like I'm a baby and like I'm just stupid, and it's not very fun. But I also, it's how I fucking am. There's no point feeling all shitty and horrible about it, you know? That's like somewhat what this video is. It's like a level of like exposure therapy. Like, if I just tell everybody the stuff that I feel a bit silly and embarrassed about, what's the point in being embarrassed about it and feeling silly if I can just tell people and then it's out there and it's whatever, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking now. This has been quite a long one for a Sunday for me. I need to change my bed. I've spilt fucking sauce all over it and it's just like sweet curry stuff, but it looks disgusting. So I really need to change my bed and I don't want to. So I'm making this video ever so slightly longer than it needs to be by telling you this, but I am going to go and do it. So as always, you can find me, you can like and subscribe here, that would help me out. You can also find me over on TikTok, Instagram or Blue Sky. And if you really like me, you can join me on Patreon so that you can get access to the Discord. And you can also find me over on Ko-fi if you want to help me out a little bit financially, because that will go straight into my savings so that I will be able to move house soon. As soon as possible. There's a house in Yorkshire that I like the look of and would technically be able to afford, but I can't figure out how I would get to go and view it, so I think I might ask them if they can do me like an online video viewing. But I think, unless there's like really something wrong with it, I think I'm gonna apply for it, you know? I like it. I'm already thinking of it as my house, and it's been online for a little while and no one else has taken it. It doesn't look like. I don't know, I've got all sorts of shit I need to deal with tomorrow. For now I'm gonna go. So whoever you are, wherever you are, if you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.